Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction. This is actually a few months after this came out, and I've been meaning to talk about this, guys, but I feel like it's appropriate now because when I've been seeing some stories about Hotel Holt actually filming for Love and Marriage Huntsville. At least that's what's being said right now. I don't know how true that is, but what has been reported, I actually heard this from Empress Radio, so I'll just let you know where I got that information from, that Stormy Steele, she had an event and the cameras were there. I'm not sure. I can't confirm that those cameras were filming this event for the show because I believe she had a birthday party that people were saying was being filmed for the show, and that didn't show up on the show. So I don't know if this event is something that's going to be coming up on the show either. It could be, and it may very well not be. But I haven't really talked a whole lot about Stormy here on my platform. One, because I don't know. I just really didn't have a whole lot of thoughts about her. And then when I think back over things when it comes to her time being on the show, it does strike me as a bit weird. And I try to be careful, especially when someone who has come out publicly to express how they have dealt with and still are dealing with mental health issues. I try my best to be careful with that because, one, you never know what people are going through behind the scenes, no matter what they portray of themselves online when they choose to be online. Because I know from my own personal life that I've dealt with things in life that has caused me to go into a state of depression because of things that I've experienced in my life. And I also am the spouse of a veteran who has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. So that is something that it's hard because I know that people can, I wouldn't say really so much put on a front, but they can button themselves up and make themselves appear to be well and vibrant and all of these different things for the public, but in private, they're a completely different person. So I just try my best to be careful when it comes to speaking about people that have outwardly expressed that they have dealt with thoughts of taking their own lives. They've attempted to take their own lives. That's very touchy, right? But it is also hard when you have someone who chooses, because this is a choice, chooses to be on a public platform, even if it's just social media, but on a television show, a reality show, that's a choice. No one's forcing you to be on a reality show. And it's also something that you're doing because it's going to be beneficial for you. Hopefully, that's why most people do it, because they see it as an opportunity, something that's going to be beneficial for them. I don't think most people get on reality shows thinking that it's going to destroy their lives in any way, shape, or form. So most people do it because they feel like it's an opportunity. And of course, it's going to get them money, And that's why we have to be careful, because the Bible talks about the love of money. Money is a necessity. It is a tool. It is a resource, but it isn't something that we should love. And I will say for me, one of the things that bothers me about Stormy is the way she talks about money. And I've seen these things. I haven't really talked about them, but it is bothersome for me. Because when I've seen her make comments about things like that, it is discouraging, because I feel that there are some people, especially some people who are melanated, when they get to a place of success in their lives with their businesses, where they will try to tear other people down with the fact that, well, look, I am a millionaire, or I'm making this much money every month, or I'm making this much money every year. But what is your character like? You know what I mean? And I tried to give her some grace when Destiny was on the show, and I felt like Destiny was being a certain type of way, and it was like, oh, she's trying to extend an olive branch. She brings her a Gucci bag. She's like, I want to, I want us to be good. I want us to be Gucci. And I didn't really care for Destiny's way of, not saying she should have just gave her a big hug and say, oh girl, thank you so much. I really need this Gucci bag and I can actually sell this and use the funds for something else. But I'm just basically saying that I tried to give her some grace in that, because I was like, wow, that's very big of her. But honestly, when you have money like that, it really isn't a big thing to get somebody an expensive gift. There's really no thought behind that. It's supposed to be the thought that counts. And it's not really thoughtful when you actually have the money to do it. So looking back on it now, I could see Destiny being skeptical of the gift. But apparently, I guess they're in a good place now. So maybe that all worked out for them. But when I initially saw Stormy on the show, I didn't really care for her attitude. I felt like she was just dismissive, like, I don't like Tiffany, and I don't like what she said, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then when they had the Galentine's event, and she was yelling at Destiny, and Destiny was mocking her accent and the way she spoke, which Destiny definitely did do that. But Stormy's response is, "Girl, you ain't got enough to come at me." It's it's about money. Nothing wrong with having expensive luxury vehicles, but the flashiness, it's just, for me, it's a bit much and over the top. So when via Carlos's YouTube channel, Stormy and Latrice from Bell Collective did this sit down, honestly, the two of them with their personalities, it really is a bit much for me. I'm going to try to do a reaction to their interview, of each other. I guess we wouldn't even call it an interview. It's a sit-down conversation on Carlos's YouTube channel. And I just want to share my thoughts about it. So let's just go ahead and get into this.
Literally came this far. Wait. To be sitting up here. I got you. Oh, girl, I could have finished it for the
No, that clear. I need to finish. Let me try it. Hold on. Before we go. I'm glad we can cut this shit.
We keeping this in. This ain't getting cut. This ain't getting cut. No.
Look, no cutsies, honey, no take backs.
You don't think it's crazy though?
Yeah.
Like, we really came the fuck up.
Stormy, when I say came up from acreages to... Listen, you remember when we started in your mom's shed?
I do.
You was trapping it out.
2013, 2014?
I don't remember. I just know it was so long ago. And I was just starting my business. And I remember you had created the canvas serum.
The serum, yup.
And you was afraid to sell it.
I was.
And you was like, I use this on my clients. And hell, it had grew my hair. So I was like, girl, what we waiting on?
And you know, it's so crazy because I feel like now, when we take into account like what we are now and like how we were even vibing and meshing back then, like you couldn't tell me you weren't gonna be great. And the same I feel like you saw me the same way. And it's like we didn't know where we was gonna end up, but we still ended up exactly what we thought each other would be.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
That's so true.
That is crazy.
Like just from our upbringing, like that's crazy.
I remember you like always coming up with innovative ideas. I'm like, this bitch done got a vending machine. Not only did you have a vending machine, your ass had lines out of the mall.
Listen,
okay?
But you know what? I was so stressed out. You remember you had to make up some flyers and overnight them to me for the vending machine.
I did.
Yes, you remember that?
I do now. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yes, look, you wasn't there, but when I say you helped me out so much with that vending machine opening because it was crazy.
I do remember this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
Yes.
And now we both on fucking own network.
With his crazy age.
Oh my God, Carlos don't play. Like this crossover conversation, he did that though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I saw the first one, I was like, but he did that.
Look, you should come on over to Bell.
You already know they think I supposed to have been on bail anyway. You know the rumor is I auditioned to be on bail and I got turned down.
Girl, why do you think that's true?
I don't know. Like it's so many weird rumors amongst like the fans. It's either I auditioned to be on bail and I got turned down, or it's I moved to Huntsville to be on Love and Marriage when I've been in Huntsville since 2012.
Now, Stormy, that was never the case. Like, I don't think I ever heard, like, Stormy wanted to be... Maybe because I know.
I didn't even live in Mississippi.
You didn't, but honestly, I did want you to be on the show. Like, when it came to me, like, I instantly thought of you because I'm thinking of bosses. Like, who are boss women? And I knew what line you were in, and I knew you meshed well. To me, it felt like you meshed well because you're the epitome of, like, Southern Belle, boss, class, like, all of the above. So...
Epitome of class. Listen, to each their own. Everybody has a right to their own opinion, but every other word is profanity. And I'm not here to say that people who use profanity don't have class, but with Latrice, her take on what class is leaves a lot to be desired. That's all I'm going to say.
Why not bring Stormy in? But you didn't stay in Mississippi, so it's kind of like, it don't matter.
Well, listen, what is up with, I want to say, Tisha said she gave you the what was it, the hat, or she put your name in the hat? What is that? What is that? Because like when I watch Bell Collective, when I actually saw the cast from Bell Collective, I was like, I don't know these bitches.
Yeah, look.
I know Tree.
Look.
I was like, who are you know? Because like,
you
can't miss you. You was doing your shit. You was doing your big one. You everywhere on the radio. Like, you doing this, you doing that. Like, I didn't know nobody.
And you know what? The crazy thing is I actually saw that interview that her and your Tisha did. And when she said that she threw me in the hat. And, I mean, I'm cool with it because you did. My thing about it is you wanted boss women. And if you want boss women, you're going to come to a boss. I mean, let's be honest. You didn't even throw yourself in the hat. So that says a lot.
Damn.
I mean, it is what it is.
Oh my God. So we getting a tea on how Bell Collective collected.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, like, when the show was first pitched, Marie, she wasn't even considered as a Belle. It was Essie all along.
Oh, Essie's the other one.
Mm-hmm.
They go with Marie.
I actually like Essie. Yes. Like, I get good. Listen, although me and Maria have our issue, I can't say that I do like Essie. I feel like, you know, she's the forefront. She's actually the brains behind the operation, and she's more logical. You know, she's more like, I mean, this is her business. You know, so.
Is that tea? That's a tea?
Look, allegedly. I don't know.
Oh my God, what's been going on with y'all over there though? Because it's been a crazy thing over here. Like, it's like...
With Bell Collective, when I came into the whole situation, I wanted it to be all about my business and actual women entrepreneurship and women uplifting each other. But come to find out, you know, it's backstabbing and lies and, you know, I look at her, I don't want people to look at her this way, so let me tarnish her. Like, I worked hella hard for everything that I have. I was SBA's Young Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of Mississippi. You know, I have a lot of accolades, and I'm Googleable. And I was Googleable way before the show.
I always fucking say that. Like,
it's Googleable a word. Googleable.
It is today. Googleable, bitch.
Googleable.
No, that's something I always have said too, like before the show, because I feel like my experience being over here with Love and Marriage is already kind of hard because y'all got to build a show as a collective from the ground up.
Yes.
I'm coming in to what's already considered the core six, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know things are always changing. However, I'm still coming into something that is established as the core six, and it's like, you know, for me, I always felt like I already had a name before the show. It's been clear, like, this Huntsville is small. People know me, and I feel like because the core six have a name over here, it's like they want to use that against somebody who come in already who they are. Like, this didn't make me, like, nothing. Matter of fact, I have seen my most success not even being on the show. Like, just now we went viral on TikTok for my business. And I'm always talking about it, and I feel like I'm always having to fight for that because at every turn, it's like, I don't know if you catch the little shade, but it'll be something said like, oh, we didn't know her. It's just everybody know me. Or everybody know Courtney. Like, let's not do that. But because of the platform, I feel like I just had to, like, a rougher end. And I always be like, I wish, like, I could have had a moment to start with a show that was just new and up and coming. Because the core over here is just what it's going to be. And I feel like I'm always fighting against it.
So, you know, I'm going to make a comment right there. And I feel like this is one of the things that people can't really get with Stormy on and don't really care for her. And listen, she has a right to feel that way. She has a right to feel how she wants to feel. I've always said everybody has a right to their opinions and to feel however they want to feel. It doesn't make your feelings right or the truth. But honestly, I never heard of her or her products or her brand before she was on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So it's like she takes offense to people when they say that, when for most people who say that, that absolutely is the truth. She may have been making millions of sales. Do you know how many businesses exist that make millions every year that we have never heard of? Not every company is a Nabisco or a L'Oreal or a, you know, just giving some examples, Energizer. Like, not every brand we have heard of. So with that being said, I feel like a lot of the reasons why people don't care for her is because the humility factor isn't there. What is wrong with being a humble millionaire? You know what I mean? Like, say you were doing well before the show, that is amazing. But you can't take away the fact that you being on this show, whether you came in seasons after the show began, or if you started on the show from it's like, to use Quad's word, its conception, it still doesn't mean that you didn't benefit from getting more exposure being on the show. And let's just be honest, you were able to get on the show because you felt like it was going to be something that was going to benefit your business and give you more exposure for your business and your brand. If you didn't need it, then why would you be on there? Because you can't tell me that the show is paying you that much money, especially if you're already making millions, you own acres, you have an estate that you own, and all of these other things that you've got. And so I feel like comments like that is a thing that is a turnoff to a lot of people.
But the thing is, like, I came in and, you know, like you said, I was in the beginning. Like, I was with the girls. Like, we helped establish the show. But I'm in the same situation as you. So I don't think it's necessarily like when you come into the situation, it's, you know, hey, with me, I feel like it's jealousy. And not necessarily jealous of, oh, my God, you know, Latrice's life or whatever the case may be, but it could be as simple as you hate the way that people look at me or perceive me. You know, you hate how I move, because at every given moment, you know, and I didn't even know this, like, these women, you know, they try to tear me down in every single way and try to discredit me when it comes to my husband, because I do have an older husband. And when you guys knew from jump what it was with me, how my success, if you don't see yourself, or if you feel like you can't do what the next woman do, then you tear her down. It's always you discrediting her and uplifting a guy to make her successful because of this guy. When I got it out the mud. Now,
literally.
That's one of those terms that I can't stand. Even if it's true that you got it out the mud, when you can throw that up in other people's faces to make it, obnoxious as well. Whether you had assistance or you got it out the mud, you got it. So just be grateful that you got it and move on. It's like some people have to wear that as a badge of honor. I didn't have nobody to help me. I didn't have anybody to support me. I got it out the mud. Okay? Well, if you got it, be grateful and you got it. You know what I mean? And so that, not to really spend too much time on Latrice because this conversation isn't about her, but I will agree with one thing that she said there, because I've talked about this a number of times. People can be jealous of you, and it's not because of what you have. It could be of what you embody. It could be the way you move. It could be the way people look at you or perceive you or whatever. It doesn't always have to be about the life and the lifestyle that you are living as to why someone may be jealous of you. But I also do believe that using the term jealousy in this situation, it's like, it's a convenient and easy and honestly a kind of lazy way of saying how people perceive you. Not everyone is jealous of you, sweetheart, especially her.
My husband did do what these women said that he did. Baby, I would applaud him like, yes, baby, my husband bought me a truck. He built me this house. I'm kept. I would love to be kept. You know, I love being a boss, but at the end of the day, I would love to spend somebody else's money. But don't discredit me because of your shortcomings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah. And another thing, like, with my experience is, like, I had to deal with a lot of backlash online because of how I look. I have never people thought I was ugly until I got on Love Marriage. It was like, oh, your fucking nose touch your lips. You always looking like you smell something, stank. And it's like, damn. It's like, god damn. And so, like, now, like, I'm dealing with that. And then on top of that, it's like I'm fighting to be, like, understood that I am not somebody coming onto this platform who want to use this platform, who need to garner fans from this experience, because I already had that.
You have a massive platform.
But the moment I say it, it's like, oh, you're unhumble, or it's like giving the air of you think you better than, or why you over here, or else. Like, for instance, Marcel told me before, when I did mention, I was like, oh, I've been in Forbes, I've done all this, like, I already had a light. He was like, oh, that can be bought.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what a hater would say. A hater would say that, and I'm like, why is it when I do it, it's a problem? And I feel like it's because they can't say the same. You can't say that. You can't say it even with being on this platform. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I can say it with the platform, without the platform, did it without the platform, doing it without the platform. Like, I was just on the news, and we didn't even mention Love and Marriage. We mentioned my business because that's what I put my heart, my soul into first and foremost. And I'm always fighting for that. And I'm always fighting against, like, people just not wanting to see it for me. As far as, like, being on this show. Like, oh, she ghetto. She don't fit in. I'm like, I never identified as coming from the ghetto because I grew up in the country. However, that's how you want to perceive it. That's just what it is. But what's wrong with a person putting on and representing for that community? Because people from the ghetto or from the country need to see, hell, you can go up, you can grow up, you can do it, and you don't have to change.
Exactly.
Like, that was so frustrating to me, like, hearing people say, oh, she ain't got no class. They throw that shit out there like I'm insulted. Bitch, I'm rich. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I was getting to next.
I don't give a fuck.
I can be the most... Look, we have the Cardi B's. We have so many different examples that we can use, but at the end of the day, like you said, bitch, you rich.
And they try to weaponize it like it takes away from what you do, but I still did it. I did it without you deeming me classy, without you deeming me proper. I still did it. What have you done? So what's the shade? Like, what's your point?
So, yeah, there's definitely a whole lot more to this interview. It's probably like another 30 minutes, and I'm not going to spend too much more time on that because just ending it right there is enough for me to get into why a lot of people don't really care for her. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's been reported that hotel was at her event that she was having that may wind up being on the show. We don't know that, so I'm not going to sit here and confirm that that's something that's going to happen. But knowing what she knows about how this man who was married to Melody, whether she was really Melody's friend or not, I don't care if Melody was your enemy. The fact that you are a woman, a businesswoman that you are always talking about, and you're also married to a man, and you would never want a man to treat you like that or treat anyone that you actually love like that. And you wouldn't want your son to grow up and be like that to any woman. How could you even spend time being around this person unless it was forced upon you to be around this person in a group to film for the show? And even that, you could decide, I'm not going to be around this person. But yet and still, he's a guest at your event. That to me is troubling. And it just does not make her look like a person that people are going to see as likable. And I believe it's problematic because, you heard her saying, well, I don't care. I'm rich. Those are the types of things that turn people completely off. And I feel like it's dangerous, being that her business is one that primarily, if not solely, serves the African American community. We have to be honest. The African American community is one of the highest consumers and also one of the ones that can quickly catapult a business to success or can cause it to crash and burn if they do not really care for the business or the head of it. You saw that story that recently went viral that I didn't talk about here on my platform by Keith Lee, the TikToker that has grown a large following by going to lesser known businesses all over the country, primarily African American or mainly African American owned and run restaurants, and really catapulting them to get a whole lot more people coming to their businesses because of what they call the Keith Lee effect. If he comes and he has a good experience and likes what he has been served, it can be really beneficial for those businesses. But because of the way this owner acted when she didn't do what he had hoped that she would do and what he had directed her to do with the money that he tipped her, which was about $4,000, and getting that money disseminated to those other people that he requested that she disseminated to, and the way that she acted, it caused this woman to have to shut down her food truck. And I believe they're having to completely start over. And that's all because of the way she behaved. And so I'm saying that to say, I don't think that Stormy understands that the way that she behaves, and because she's gotten on this platform, yes, her business may have been doing amazing before. And I'm not here to speak anything negative over her business because that's just not something that I do. Even if I don't care for someone, one of the things that I will never do is speak negative about someone else's business, except for Martell, which he doesn't even really have a business, so that's different. But I would never do that because I just would never speak negative over anyone's business. But I do believe that we sow seeds and we reap harvest from them, and in some ways that could affect your business. So even if she was in Forbes and on these other media outlets and was doing millions before she got on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she definitely got an opportunity by being on the show, and it definitely did give her more exposure. But she could get to the point where people could be so turned off by her where it could cause things to happen in her business. And I'm not here to say that people should call, like she was saying on the reunion, people were calling some of the retailers saying don't carry her products anymore for whatever the reasons were. I don't know. I don't agree with that. But it could cause the people who support the brand to be turned off. You just have to really be careful being the owner of a business and also being on a public platform like she is, and behaving the way that she's behaved and speaking the way that she's spoken. And if people see you as someone that is supportive of a person that has been seen as an abuser, definitely as a serial cheater, not respectful of the person that he was married to for so many years, it's going to make people look at her a certain type of way. And I'm not here to say that she and Melody should have been best friends, but I definitely don't think it's a good look for her to be looking like she's befriending the man that has been low-key, mentally at least, if not other ways, torturing his ex-wife, and also alleged to have been doing things to his children physically with his hands and fists and other things, because he's an angry narcissist that's spiraling. I just wanted to talk about this briefly. I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit more and go a little bit further in depth with this, because it's just something that I've been thinking about for a while. Why don't people like Stormy? And people could say, oh, it's the millimeters. I'm not a millimeter. And I can say that her behavior and just things that she's been exhibiting, it just doesn't make her look favorable to me. I don't hate her, but I definitely don't care for the behavior. And I know you cannot control other people, but to see how her mom was with her, it just, to me, in my personal opinion, I feel like her mom is expressing how she, meaning Stormy, I feel like her mom is expressing how Stormy really feels. And Stormy's trying to make it seem like, oh, she's neutral. But in my personal opinion, I believe that her mom is exhibiting and expressing a lot of how her daughter really feels and doing it on behalf of her daughter. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. But, yeah, I'm rich. You ain't got enough to come at me. Everything is about money. I'm making money. I've made millions. I'm making millions. Kudos to you. I'm sure a lot of people would love to make millions. But if the character is flawed, then it leaves a lot still to be desired. And I just felt like talking about this briefly because, again, like I said, when I heard that she was filming with Martell and she was having an event and she invited him there, like, he shouldn't even be getting an invite. Again, you don't have to be best friends or even friends with Melody to just respect this real life situation that's going on. This isn't petty for TV stuff that's happening. I really feel like it's disrespectful. And it goes back to that old saying, treat people the way that you would like to be treated. And I feel like that's one of the things that so many people lack. And that's why so many issues exist when it comes to people. But I'm rich and I don't talk about all the other stuff that's going on, but I've heard people talking about all the different lawsuits and everything when it's all about money. And it's like, well, if you're that wealthy, just pay those people the money. I'm sure a lot of people would love to have what she has and to just be able to pay their bills. Not to be out here bragging and talking about they're driving G-Wagons and they're, living in estates and all the other stuff. They would just be happy to just be able to pay their bills, live a comfortable lifestyle. Not everyone's trying to have fame and exposure and, different things like that. It's cool that she's got it, but I just wanted to talk about that briefly, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section as to why you feel like Stormy isn't coming across as a very likable person. And let me know how you feel like her having Martell at one of her events recently here is going to affect her down the line. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.